First of all, I'd like to begin by recognizing a few people here. Up on the high table, we've got Larry Arthur, who's right here on my, who's closest to me. He's the acting Chief Technical Officer, CTO of TICO, and he will be doing the presentation on behalf of the industry. And then next to him is Mr. Joseph Ebo. He is the National Chairman of the Association of Road Contractors. And then right there, the very tall one, about 8 feet, is Isaiah. He's a director at the Ministry of Communications. You know, he should have been in basketball, he would have been a lot more. He had retired by now and sipping a tall drink in the Caribbean, but he chose to do telecoms. So you're welcome today. And then last but not the least, we have Mr. Kofi Achakoja, who's with the Ghana Highway Authority, and he'll be doing a presentation as well. So first of all, I want to tell you very briefly about the Chamber of Telecommunications. It was inaugurated in November 2011 by the then Vice President, now President John Mahama. The Chamber comprises all the telecoms network operators. And the reason why they found the need to establish a chamber, which is parallel to what we're familiar with, the Chamber of Mines, for example, was that there was a recognition that there are certain issues that individual network operators could not, of themselves, by themselves, resolve. Primarily, this would be regulatory, legislative issues, and therefore they needed an institution that they would initiate to lead advocacy in those areas. That these are issues that are cross-cutting, that are of common interest, that affect network operators equally, that if they were not resolved, it would hurt the industry as a whole. And therefore, they found the need to set up the chamber. It does not compromise competition. However, there's cooperation, but there's still competition. In other words, there's co-competition. That's what the chamber is about. So we began the last quarter, the knowledge forums are quarterly, so we had one in the last quarter on synboxing, the phenomenon of synboxing. And this time we're talking about fiber cuts or cable cuts, which is one of the challenges excuse me, that the telecoms industry faces. I just want to finish really by saying that given all of what we've heard, or everything we've heard underlines the importance of this forum and bring all of you together. Clearly, there are issues that need to be addressed going forward, but also there have been instances that have been cited that demonstrate that there is a way, a much better way to do this. Others have done it, and we also can. But we cannot continue to operate in silos. We cannot continue to operate in silos. Urban planning, highways, urban roads, utilities, funding agencies, policy makers, there's got to be talking to one another. We've got to be talking to one another in order to resolve this. And that's why I began when I did the welcoming and the background to tell you about the importance of telecommunications to all of us. It's not abstract, it's real, it's in our hands, everybody's hands, from the president to the gentleman that cut the cable, to the one that laid the cable, to the encroachers, to the market women selling on the pavement at Mala, where operators are trying desperately to lay their cables without success because of trespassers. It all affects us. So we've got to consider in all that we do, Mr. Mate, Larry, all of us together, neighbors, that this is about the economic and social development of our country. That's what telecoms is about. It's not for MTN, it's not for Vodafone, it's not for Tigo or Expresso or Airtel. It's for us. We use it. It works for us when it's working, and when it doesn't work, it hurts us as individuals, but in the process, it hurts the industry as well. And this is the industry that has spent $5 billion and needs to spend even more so that our educational institutions, our young people can have access, like others do elsewhere in the world, to telecoms infrastructure so they can get educated much more cheaply, so that we can have access to health and information, to telemedicine, so that our mothers don't die needlessly because they're trying to travel on a 50-kilometer road with potholes like Owari. So it's about our lives, our social development, our economic growth is all underpinned by telecommunications. So that's why I brought you here. That's why I believe that's why you accepted to come, because you recognize the importance of this industry and the role that you have played and can continue to play. But this cannot be the end of this conversation. We will together create an opportunity in the coming weeks, dates, and venues to be announced, where we'll have a much more focused, perhaps without cameras, so we can develop some concrete actions and some outcomes and hopefully long-term impact as a result of the discussions and the discourse that we'll have in our next opportunity, definitely long before elections. If not in September, in October. GUR and through the National Engineering Coordinating Team, we've talked about this, but it's been difficult to fix a date and get on the bill. And I think that from here, we can all agree that this is something that is necessary and that we must do, all of us together. Thank you very much for coming.